This, of course, an Arise Primetime special. Now, you've just heard from former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai, who insists that what happened at Abuja's International Airport was unlawful, an attempted arrest without a warrant, a seizure of his passport, and in his view, a troubling signal about due process. But there is another side to the story. Civil rights lawyer and activist Deji Adeyanju has publicly urged both the EFCC and the DSS to thoroughly investigate Governor El-Rufai, not persecute him, but investigate him. Barrister Adeyanju argues that accountability must apply to all public officials, past or present. He questions claims of political persecution, pointing instead to long-standing allegations of corruption and controversial security policies during Governor El-Rufai's tenure, including claims of inducements to violent groups and accusations that critics were harassed or intimidated while he was in office, allegations that Governor El-Rufai has denied. So if powerful figures like El-Rufai demand due process, should they also now answer for how power was exercised under their watch? Which is why, in the interest of fairness and balance, tonight's right of reply goes to the civil rights lawyer and activist Deji Adeyanju, who joins me now in the studio. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Thank you so much, Charles, for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Now, you've called for a full investigation of Nasir El-Rufai, but given the dramatic airport confrontation and the claim that no warrant was presented, are you defending due process or endorsing a show of force before evidence has been publicly established?
You know, I am not convinced that there was any plan to arrest him. I am not convinced from the clip. I think Malam Nasir El-Rufai, just like everyone will agree with me, is always extremely very sensational, and he's a drama artist as well. He's very good at this opposition thing. He knew what he was doing, and when he came in, he came very prepared for cameras. So I think that they wanted to target his passport, and the DSS actually got his passport. I think that was what they wanted to get. Nobody planned to arrest him. If there was a plan to arrest him, for sure they will have arrested him. And you know, even Malam Nasir El-Rufai, I believe he has read some of our extant laws. You can be arrested with probable cause. You can also be arrested with warrant.
Yeah, but the point is that it is the police who make those arrests.
Don't worry.
Not someone else.
Listen.
Probable cause is a province of the police.
Let me give free tutorial to Malam. You know, if he's not aware, but I know that he knows that probable cause is a fundamental ground for arrest. And Malam Nasiru is even very lucky, you know, that his passport was taken from him. I watched as you interviewed him. Several of his critics didn't even get this kind of treatment, fantastic treatment that he got at the airport. I have a list of more than 20-something people that Malam Nasiru arrested without warrant in Kaduna. A long list of people. The critics, all of them were his critics.
Well, one of the people you cited was Adeyanju.
Yeah, Adeyanju was his critic. I was shocked that Malam is suddenly saying
had nothing to do with him.
He was his critic, and his son even justified his abduction. You can go to social media. The post is still there.
Well, we did look through.
Yes, when citizens were demanding for why Adeyanju was arrested, his son doubled down. Maybe if he had deleted the tweet. So the whole world knows Malam cannot rewrite history. We want him to get accorded due process of law. His rights must be respected. His rights must not be violated, but he must be investigated. His stewardship, it is so ironic today that the oppressors of yesterday are now crying. They are now claiming to be emergency comrades. Comrade Malami, Comrade Nasir El-Rufai. You understand? Very soon, we have also seen some comrades at the barricade some few days ago. So the people who oppressed, who mobilized thugs to attack us at the barricades, who violated our rights, who mocked us and said protest is for enemies of the state and enemies of the government, are now resorting to protest. So it's an irony of some sort, no matter how you look at it. And assuming without even considering that the DSS targeted his passport. The reason in my mind, I think Section 2 of the DSS instrument regulation, which is in compliance with the NSA Act, gives the DSS the power to see someone's passport if your name is on the watch list. Of course, he knows, even I'm very sure that Malam, he has said it now, that he knew that the security agencies were looking for him. He has admitted that he had written to the EFCC that they were looking for him. He has also alluded to the fact that the ICPC is investigating him.
Well, the ICPC has now written to him.
Now, so
but at that time they hadn't written to him.
Now, so if these agencies,
and they didn't have a warrant.
Yeah, if these security agencies were looking for you and you are aware, why are you creating the drama at the airport?
No. He was, no. Let's clarify that point. I'm not his spokesman, but let's be clear on what he said.
Okay.
He received a letter of invitation from the EFCC.
Okay.
He arranged with the EFCC a date when he was going to be there because he was abroad.
That's within his right, yes.
Yeah. He was going to be there on the 16th of February, which is Monday, and he intends to be there. The people who came to pick him up at the airport had nothing to do with the EFCC.
I don't think anybody planned to pick him up.
That's what he said.
If they had planned to pick him up, they would have arrested him. I have been arrested several, I can't count, maybe like 20-something times in my lifetime.
Yeah, but again, the point he was making is, first of all, you are, I mean, you're a civil rights person, but you're not, I mean, El-Rufai. Yes. El-Rufai was a former governor, former minister of Abuja.
The due process of law says that before someone is arrested, the person will be shown a warrant.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he requested a warrant, which they didn't have.
Yes.
But he said they were trying to push him at one point.
No, I don't think so.
Into a corner, into their office.
You know the reason why I said
at the airport.
You see, the reason why I said I don't think so is that, you see, Malam Nasir El-Rufai as governor of Kaduna State, superintendent.
Hold on. Let me make this point. That has nothing to do with what happened to him.
I'm going to tell you why the reason why I want to answer the question and relate it to what happened at the airport. So, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, as governor of Kaduna State, superintendent not just the massacre of Shiites in Kaduna and the children of Sheikh Zakzaki. Sheikh Zakzaki was shot multiple times with his wife, put in a wheelbarrow. They didn't need a warrant to do that. But I don't think these guys will want to arrest Malam Nasir El-Rufai at the airport without a warrant. I don't think so. Knowing the kind of person that he is. But if they had tried to do so, it's unlawful, it's unconstitutional.
Because that's what I wanted to clarify, because you are a lawyer.
Yes, it's unconstitutional. If they had tried to do that, it's unlawful, it's unconstitutional.
So if the DSS, in my view, attempted to detain him without a warrant, which is what he claims.
Yes. A claim I don't believe.
Let me just be clear. If they attempted to do that, you would condemn that outright.
Of course.
Even if you believe he should be investigated.
Of course.
Right.
Of course I will. And you see, my view is that I don't believe that anybody was trying to arrest him. In my view, what I believe is that they because he was already put on a watch list. You know, this same thing happened to Natasha Akpoti. This same thing has happened to my very good brother and friend, Omoile Shore. Immediately they put you on that watch list. Just take a look at Section 2 of the DSS Instrument Act. Immediately they put you on that watch list. It goes without saying that the first thing they will target is your passport. So I think in the process of targeting his passport, knowing him for who he is, everyone knows Malam.
Yeah, but they could have just come and asked him for his passport.
If they asked him, he would never have given them.
Initially, they didn't ask him for that. They said, come with us.
Yeah, so he will never have given them his passport. Neither will a Shore give anyone his passport. Neither will a Natasha Akpoti have given her passport to anyone. Right. So what they do is they just confiscate the passport. And I believe that they've gotten his passport.
They finally did. They finally got it.
Yeah, so it goes without saying.
You have described his persecution claims as strange.
Yes.
Are you saying there is absolutely no possibility of political motivation in this case?
Nobody is persecuting him. If you want to see what persecution is, then go and look at all the victims of Malam Nasir El-Rufai when he was governor. Professor Chidi Odikalu, the respected and revered Professor Chidi Odikalu, was persecuted by Malam Nasir El-Rufai.
I know Chidi Odikalu.
Stephen Kefers was persecuted by Malam Nasir El-Rufai. The Adu Mekodi that he tried to make light of the situation was persecuted and jailed by him for criticizing him. Their only crime was criticizing him. See, Malam Nasir El-Rufai demolished the house of Senator Hunkui his opponent.
So
in Kaduna.
your call is for him to be investigated.
Investigated.
Right. Okay.
Now,
and if the investigation finds no wrongdoing,
let him go.
Will you publicly retract your call and defend his reputation just as strongly as you're condemning it now?
Listen, even while I'm calling for his investigation, I'm still saying that his rights must be respected. His rights, because every citizen of Nigeria, this is what Malam Nasir El-Rufai didn't understand as governor. He's facing the same karma faith that Malami is facing today. Because when these guys were in power, they behaved like gods. They did not follow due process. Teachers and civil servants in Kaduna went to court, got an order restraining Nasir El-Rufai from sacking them. He sacked them nonetheless.
Right.
He sacked them. But I am calling that he should be investigated for the alleged corruption. Because we have seen, we have followed the news closely. Some of his aides are already in custody. Some of his aides are already standing trial.
Nothing has been found against them that points to him.
Okay, so he cannot be the judge, jury, and executioner. He should submit himself to investigation and probe.
Okay.
It is after the investigation is done. If there's a prima facie case, then he will be charged. Then he will have his day in court to defend himself.
Right.
You know?
Okay. Just before we go, what are your final comments?
My final comment is very simple: that the oppressors of yesterday cannot suddenly become heroes today. That everything that Nasir El-Rufai did, he demolished Senator Hunkuyi's house, who was his rival, political rival. He demolished Barrister Inua Abdulkadir's house, former vice chairman of APC, who was supporting the APC at that time because he was also one of his close rival. He did all these things, and all the people arrested, all the people jailed. He has not shown any form of remorse for all the human rights violations, all the atrocities. The sad part of it is that if Nasir El-Rufai is given another chance at governance, he will do same or worse. He does not care about morality. He is a prominent violator of human rights. He's a prominent oppressor of the less privileged. He does not look at what he did to those Christians in the Kajuru community.
We've got 20 seconds.
They were jailed for 8 months. 8 months. Then majority of the traditional rulers who opposed him, he either deposed them or arrested them. One of them went to have a meeting with him in Kaduna as governor. On his way back, he was abducted and subsequently killed, if you remember.
Just summarize. I have to
in summary, this is karma. And again, you can say any small thing he calls Nuribadu's name.
Right, okay.
Any small thing he calls Nuribadu's name.
Well, I must go.
The reason why he does that is because he knows that Nuribadu is his political rival. As long as Nuribadu is in a sensitive place, he will not be able to sleep well. Okay. So this is why, and it is politics to all of them. And again, he may be justified.
I have to go. On that note, I want to thank you very much indeed. You've had your right of reply. Deji Adeyanju is a civil rights lawyer and a well-known activist. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's it for this Arise Pride Time special. Join us again next week. From me and the entire team here in Abuja, bye-bye. Thank you for watching.